What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Tight Lines and Brow Times podcast. We're glad to have you here with us. On our previous episode, we introduced the team. We talked about some of the weirdest stuff we've done to catch a fish or kill a deer, kill a duck. We gave some pretty wild shots at some Super Bowl picks. So if you guys haven't seen that episode, head over to our channel and check that one out.
And by the way, something I didn't mean to clear up from the last episode. Did we ever clarify how Cutter got his name?
No.
We did not?
No.
Because I'll tell you what, I'll give him the opportunity to tell the story. And if he doesn't want to, I'll tell the story.
So Cutter's not your real name.
It is not. It is not.
I feel like I've been lied to.
Well, I'll tell the story. It's nothing crazy. Well, I guess it kind of is kind of crazy. I didn't get my butt whooped that day, but it started about over 30 years ago. I bought a log truck. A bunch of my friends had log trucks, and my first load in it, you go to the mill, and I'd never been there before. I didn't know how things went, and I pulled up there, and then there's parking lots on both sides before you get to the mill, and it's full of trucks and loaded trucks sitting there. I didn't know. I just kept going. I just went straight to the scales, past all of them. There's probably 30 or 40 trucks sitting there that day. Just went right around all of them, went on up to the scales and weighed in, pissed a bunch of people off. But so somebody said, what is he doing? Well, it was too late. I was already inside the mill. I ain't going to turn around and go back out. So somebody said, well, he's cutting. He's cutting in line. And pretty much Cutter stuck with me and been that way ever since. That was over 30 years ago.
So to be clear, your nickname is Cutter not because you're a bad dude and you cut people. It's because you're a line cutter.
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
You cut in line.
Cutting in line at the sawmill 30 years ago.
Where was this mill at?
Down at Camden, Texas. That's where it was. Down at Camden, Texas. There's a lot of trucks there that day. And maybe somebody listening will remember that. Maybe they were there that day. So, yeah, that's true. I saw him
Monday
do it.
morning too, wasn't it?
I don't know. It probably wasn't Monday morning.
That's the busy, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what day it was, but that's how I got it and been stuck with it ever since.
I'll be dang.
So,
All right, dummy.
there you go.
All right, this is going to be a question for our viewers. Has anyone ever checked into or booked a place to stay at without reading the reviews first? And we talked about this after the show a couple of weeks ago. Something we wanted to bring up was a story of the time that me and Big John, David, and as I recall, his name was Zach, right, from the Beaumont area. Yep. We all wanted to do a little fishing trip up to the Goat here in East Texas. And I think John and I had been talking on the phone for a couple of days looking for a place to stay.
Yeah, because you stayed at the motel rooms once before, and that was originally what
it was
on our
decent.
radar.
Yeah, it was decent. I mean, it wasn't great, but we're looking, and the availability there, everything was booked. I mean, this is springtime.
Yeah, busy time of year.
Yeah, prime spawn. And the lodge was available. That was the only thing available. But we thought to ourselves, hey, there's 4 of us. We could probably afford it. So we start looking into it. $350 for a night. That's not bad at all. No, that's great. And so we jumped on it. We booked the lodge. So fast forward a couple of weeks, we're all 4 headed up to the lake. We pull into the marina parking lot that morning, and we're actually pointing at this place, and we're like, oh, man, look at that place. Look at that fine barbecue grill they got out there. Somebody's going to have a nice stay at that place. Yeah. So we pull on in, pay our launch fees. We go out, and we fish till probably mid-afternoon. We're time to come back in for a burger and some lunch, and we're sitting in the diner, and I asked John, I said, hey, where do we go to check into the lodge at? I mean, I'm thinking this might be in a secluded place, being a lodge and everything.
Right.
Like we have to drive a couple miles back into the woods, cross a couple little streams and some wildlife to get to it.
Yeah, because up to this point we haven't seen it.
well, we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't think we'd seen it.
And a waitress hollers from the background, Gladys, the lodge people are here. I got to go clean it. She yanks her apron off, walks out the door, and I said, whoa, where is she going? And I think we walked out and we walked around to the check-in, which was the same place you buy your minnows and your worms at. And they said, oh, here's your keys. And I said, oh, wait, that's what it was. Like I said, I think I asked her, I said, oh, do we get keys? She said, oh, no, honey, it's not locked. So I pull the boat around to the front to this place we laughed at as we pulled into the boat ramp this morning. And as I'm circling the back, John's already walked through the place, and he's just shaking his head. He's like, oh, he just utter disgust And we walked through this place, and it looked like a meth lab from the 1960s.
Yeah, it does.
I mean,
terrible.
it was atrocious. And we're sitting there, and I think at one point I went and caught a nap under my boat in the grass because I was afraid. Seriously, I didn't want to lay in the bed.
Yeah, whenever you did that, all four of us, we just checked into the lodge, and none of us wanted to be in there. We were all four outside, and you were laid on the grass by your truck tire taking a nap.
Yeah.
We just kind of migrated to the safest place we could find.
Yeah, and I think right there in that moment, we decided we were not going to be cooking in that.
No.
We brought stuff to cook.
Oh yeah, we had coolers full of steaks. And
Oh,
we're gonna
yeah.
make some 7-layer dip and a few cold ones. Man, we're gonna make this a good time. And
Not anymore.
no, and then I think we decided on Chili's at the nearest town.
Yeah.
And that is when we started reading the reviews.
One of the first review that I read said my face itched for a week after staying there. I was like, this is not going to be good. And then another one, there was a guy staying there, and he said that let me see. He said if you were looking for a dirtbag place to stay, this is it. If not, run for your life. I tried to upload pictures. He was so desperate to let everybody know about it, he wanted to upload pictures of the conditions. I tried to upload pictures, but it wouldn't let me. If you decide to stay, look under the beds. It will scare you away.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
and that it did. The fact of the matter is I don't think any of us slept under the covers that night. I know I didn't.
No.
I slept on a couch that looked somewhat.
I had recently, just a couple of weeks earlier, gotten married, and we had souvenir blankets. And I don't know if you had one, but I had a couple in the back seat of my my pickup, and I think I slept on top of that, wrapped up like a half burrito.
Yeah.
And that was the morning that your alarm woke everybody up. But you, that's what brought the story on about what an atrocious
that was
experience that was. It was one we'll never forget. Now, to be clear, those reviews are still available on Google. We did not make that up.
Yeah,
and it actually has been condemned. The city or somebody shut it down. Last I heard, I was there recently. So
a little too late if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean,
if y'all have an experience where you did that, you booked it or booked a place and checked into it and didn't read the reviews first and it turned out bad, drop us a comment. Let us know about it. We may be the only ones that did that. Who knows? But
lesson learned.
Yeah,
for me it was.
Yep.
You ever had an experience like that, Cutter?
No, sir.
No.
He always reads the reviews.
Well, unless it came with a private masseuse and a spa rules that you're going to entertain it.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm
A private male masseuse.
I'm pretty sure where y'all were, they don't give massages up there in that part.
No.
Well,
Well, yeah.
you might make that argument.
Those are the kind you can't quite give back.
Yeah. No, I've never done that.
All right, let's take a quick break.
All right.
All right, so we're about halfway through the show. We're going to move into a segment we like to do every episode called Most Likely To. So this first question, I feel a little personal attack coming, if I'm being honest. This is going to be most likely to be the first one to get hung up while fishing. And I can go ahead and fall on that sword. I don't even care.
You got one, Ben? I mean, who's your choice?
This is for everybody.
Yeah.
No, I really don't have too much trouble getting hung up unless I'm throwing like a rig and heavy timber. And I typically don't try to do that.
That'll get you every time.
It will. And I know a lot of people lose crankbaits. I see them out there all the time, deep cranking and stuff like that, and just snapping them off like they're Skittles. I mean, $19 a pop, that ain't gonna be me. But no, I typically don't. You know, if I get hung up, and I do sometimes, especially throwing Carolina rig in deeper water, but I don't worry too much about it. Snap it off, tie another on, and go on.
Right.
But
Well, my answer is going to be Dave, and I have several examples. There was remember Sam Rayburn when we were fishing the Sealy tournament?
Yeah.
And you kept getting hung up on them trees.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dude, you were getting mad.
Yeah.
Getting hung up. I mean, every cast almost.
Yeah, that's a windy lake, too. I mean, it's hard to try to get up under structure and stuff like that.
But the wind was not blowing very hard the day that we were on Lake Athens, and we were fishing by that beaver den, and I know you hung up on it at least twice. It hung up right at the surface of the water.
Yeah.
go ahead. No.
Oh,
you said beaver den, and it made me think of something. But I'm not
okay. Yeah, you got a beaver den story, don't you?
I do, but go ahead. Go ahead, finish yours, and I'll tell it. I'll tell it mine.
So yeah, my answer is you, Dave. My answer is you.
All right,
I
Big Dave.
can embrace that.
There you go.
So what's your beaver den story? I'm dying to hear this
Well,
one.
I have a beaver den story, but it has nothing to do with fishing, really. Well, it kind of does, but it's a long time ago.
It kind of doesn't either, but go ahead.
Well, it kind of does because we was actually fishing when we found it.
Okay.
But this is 40 years ago when I was a kid, 12 years old, and we used to go camping. Aunts, not aunts, but uncles and grandpas, we'd all get together, nephews, cousins, we'd all go camp on the river and put out trot lines. And
what
stuff
river
like
was
that.
this?
Neches River.
Neches.
In the Neches River, down between Kennard and Alto.
Yeah.
Through there. Where we used to camp at, and we was running the lines one day, and or we just out playing in the boat. Probably, we was kids. So anyhow, we found a beaver den in the bank of the river, in the riverbank, and it's a pretty good sized den. And it came up in the bank, and then it went way up in the bank, came out up on top of the ground, And back then, I was 12 years old. I didn't weigh 80 pounds soaking wet,
It's about the same as now.
About the same as now, pretty much.
Was this summertime?
It's just summertime. Yeah, this is summertime. Late spring, early summer. I don't know exactly what time of year it was, but it wasn't in the winter. So it's springtime, summer, whatever.
You brave then.
I was gonna say
And-
I had to ask.
so-
I had to ask because that's the times the snakes are out. That makes it even more
I was
Snakes
intense.
are a problem.
12 years old. I ain't worried about a snake.
Oof.
And so one of the guys with us, like I said, I wasn't very big. He always called me little fella. The little fella. He said, "Well, little fella," and I kind of like I am now, still pretty mouthy. People that know, people that know me, people that know me, and he always said, "You talk mighty big for such a little fella. You talk mighty big for such a little fella." Anyhow, we found this beaver den, and they said, "Well, won't you crawl through it?" And they were all a lot bigger than I was, and I said, "Well, I'll do it." They said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, I'll do it. I ain't scared. Let's go." So I got down there and crawled up through it, and just there wasn't no beavers in it, and
I bet there was a snake.
I bet there was
Yeah.
a snake.
but I
Yeah.
didn't see a snake. I
Doggone
really
belly
don't see a
crawlers,
I
snake.
hadn't seen too many of them
So
that time of year that don't have a snake.
So I crawled through that beaver den, and they docked the boat, went up on the shoreline up there up on the bank, and they pulled me out. They broke sticks up on the top side and pulled me out the top side of it by my hand. They drove me out like that.
Really?
That's true.
You
Yeah,
dumbass.
we did. So in case anybody heard that, Ben just cussed again. We have a new deal to our show called the Cuss Jar. You did. You just said ass. So we have a new deal to our show called the Cuss Jar right here. So
Try to get better. Try to get better. So go ahead and put you $1 in there.
Gotta put
man.
$1 in the
Let's go ahead
jar.
and get the,
So
let's go ahead and get the donation
we're
made.
trying to break Ben from his bad habits. and
At the end of season 1, we'll have a sizable donation for the Salvation Army.
yeah, we'll donate to a needy. Thank you, Ben.
Yep.
And but anyhow, that's the end of my beaver den.
So did
story.
you have to go underwater any?
No, there was no
It was-
water.
it was all above water.
All above water. The
Lord,
river's
that
probably
would put me
pretty
in
low.
panic mode.
And can I just break in for a second and say the most important thing that we want to address this episode is this right here.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew as soon as I said it on the first episode that I made a mistake. And who else knew it? This guy right here.
My
And for the
mother-in-law.
last two. Oh, your mother-in-law?
My mother-in-law, yeah.
mother-
So
man.
yeah, Kelly shared the video
I
and
don't
she
know.
commented saying, "Tell that fella in the blue shirt that Tony Dorsett did not play for Texas."
I know. I made a mental mistake, and I'm sorry about it. And none of it really matters because I'm not going to live it down. I mean,
Yeah.
You've
But-
learned.
I mean, Big John and I talk most mornings. I'm working about 3:00 in the morning. I call him when he's leaving Houston, and I'm wherever I'm at. We talk, and he calls at 5:00 on his way to work. And the topic of conversation every morning for the past 2 weeks: Tony Dorsett didn't play for Texas. He played for, I know. I get it, man. I messed up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
they ain't gonna let you live that one.
I just
down.
wanted to clear that up. We should have done that at the top of the show. That was really an important talking point that we didn't get to soon enough. But
It's okay. It's been
Okay.
known now. You made it known. So
It's mighty brave of you.
Well, this is getting a little bit off subject, but he was talking about the beaver house, and that made me think of running lines on Trinity
there.
River.
Yeah.
And you remember that time we were running the lines on Trinity River, my pro drive,
Mhm.
and it had the full power reverse on it, where you
Yep.
had to turn the foot around. Well, the current was so bad that time that you allowed for the foot to turn around to go in reverse or to put it back and forward to fight.
That's a crucial amount of time.
Yeah, it was a crucial amount of time. Well, you had the line on the front of the boat. You were standing up on the front of the boat, and you had the line, and it was tied to the fiberglass pole on the bank.
Right.
And we were coming out into the middle of the river, and you were letting it out, and that hook grabbed your hand,
It sure did.
and I couldn't get the foot of the motor turned back around fast enough. his hand was stretched all the way out with the hook in it, and I still didn't get the motor turned off. It ended up yanking, just ripping. You heard it pop, pop.
No, well, yeah. So we had long lines with like drop. What would you call that? Like the hook was dropped off on a lead.
Yeah,
off the main line.
yeah.
No staging.
And
Yeah,
so
this guy's gonna know.
Yeah.
So
I do
as we were letting those out, it was the last hook on the line, and there was probably like a 2-pound weight on the end of it, and that line got caught between my pinky and my ring finger, and so that hook was working its way up as I was letting the slack out of the line, and it grabbed into my hand right above my wrist.
It did.
And buddy,
That's
when it
scary.
grabbed, it hung on.
I bet that hurt.
It was about to pull me in the
It was
water.
about to put. It was very
And
close.
so my brother was with us.
Yep.
And my brother grabbed me by the back of my shirt, and he was able to reach up and pull that line because John was still trying to get the foot wrapped back around to have forward
Fight against
power.
the current, yeah.
And he grabbed that line and just enough slack pulled on the line, and it popped. And when it did, boy, that line shot back toward the
God.
turn.
Yes, dude. It was.
Yeah.
So when he was telling that story about the river and lines, I immediately popped
Yeah.
in my mind. That was
that's bad.
wild.
Yeah, Big
Pretty
Dave
bad.
almost skipped out on that one.
Pretty bad.
Yep.
So back to most likely, Sue. First one to get hung up fishing.
Yep. Mine's Dave.
It's got to be. I'll take it.
Yeah, stays hung up.
Yeah.
He catches them 3-pounders all day long.
Yeah. Limb brims.
And it's something about when he has a chatterbait tied on, especially. He loves to get in them trees.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's like Gerald Swindle says. I mean, if you ain't getting stuck, you're not fishing in the right places.
Yeah, there's that.
My problem is that I'm always getting stuck above water. So
Right. Yeah. Getting hung up in the fishing pool.
Yeah.
You have laying beside you. With your feet.
it does happen.
It does.
Mm.
All right. Number 2 would be most likely to have a snappy comeback.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I don't know who that would be.
Yeah, you know exactly who that would be. That was Ben
it's
all
gotta-
day long. I tell
it
Ben
could be
all.
Cutter.
It could be Cutter.
No, I tell Ben. Well, I mean, Cutter does, but I tell Ben all the time. I wish I was as fast as he is, man, on the comebacks. I mean, he's fast.
He was so fast a few minutes ago, he didn't even realize he'd cursed.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's my way of giving back to the community because somebody's going to benefit from that $2.
Well,
You
I
know?
bet by the time it's finished, it'd be way more than $2.
Yeah, I
if
don't
you
know.
don't change your
I don't know.
ways. So
I'm getting dialed in.
Oh, you are.
Yeah,
You
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't me. My brain thinks a little bit too slow.
I'm not that quick. You're way quicker than I am. Way.
Well,
I can come up with some pretty funny stuff, but it's going to be about 3 days from now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Big Dave 2 days later. But, hey, you remember when we were talking about this the other day?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you this.
Let me drop this on you.
I'll give you a prime example. Like the last show, whenever we were, he displayed it perfectly in the last show. Whenever you said, we reined some ducks in, and then I said, well, I don't know, and then you said, not willing to say ducks plural. that kind. I mean, he's
All
very
right,
fast.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Okay. Number 3, most likely to never forget the snacks. Now, I know, looking at me and Ben, you'd probably think.
Well, I don't know, but I would say, well, Cutter definitely has his snacks. He doesn't go out without snacks. But as I recall, when we were doing the big tournament at Sam Raver last year, wasn't your bag of snacks bigger than your tackle box?
Well, okay, I was going to mention your snacks at Sam Raver because I can remember every day we come in, Big Ben grabs a full bag of Fritos.
Yeah.
Okay, but that was back at the house. I don't eat when I typically don't ever snack while I'm on the water. Like that's why.
Oh,
I
you
typically,
should try it. It'll change your life.
Yeah.
But you pay money to fish during those hours, not
Right.
have snacks.
Right.
That's why I wait till it's lines out till I catch up.
Yeah,
And then it is
a
going
man
back
can't catch a fish when he's
Multiple
hungry.
cervezas and some queso.
Now,
and
as
He
far
can
as-
only catch a fish when he's not eating.
Oh,
Or eating or not hungry.
Oh.
He can,
what is this?
Dang.
That's garbage.
that's garbage.
just one man's opinion.
Yeah.
One man's opinion.
Yeah, it is just one man.
But I mean, so we're talking about snacks. So you're saying that eating takes away from your fishing time,
it does.
and so you know where this is going. So you fish all these tournaments.
Yeah.
Y'all two right there. Really, y'all go to Rayburn, y'all go wherever, and y'all fish
Yeah.
these tournaments. Y'all do it pretty much every year.
Yep.
I don't fish tournaments.
Mm-mm.
Not yet anyway. John's trying to get me to do one, but anyhow, that's beside the point. So
Yeah, I think you need to fish some cat, man.
So now, so he can't eat because it takes away from the fishing. So how many tournaments have you won?
Since when?
Since you started fishing, how many tournaments have you won?
Well,
So, never mind. I answered that for you. As far as I know, now we're talking about paying tournaments. I'm not talking about 3 or 4 guys having a tournament between us. So
He's ribbing
as,
it bad.
as far as I know, you haven't won any. Okay, so you'd rather starve to death and not win rather than eat and not win. So there you go, buddy. Get you a snack. It'll
well,
make you feel a lot better.
I feel like you also pay for the experience. You do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been fishing since really my junior year of high school. I bought my 82 Skeeter, come on, big. And so it wasn't me. Boy, had so much plywood in the floor. You had to get my buddy on the front to get on plane because we redid the floor. But hey, that's when I really started. That's when my tournament career really took off. And that's where it started.
Oh, okay.
Taking off, like I said, the plywood was a problem there. But yeah. Yeah. What was I fixing to say, Dave?
You're right.
No,
you're
I don't
right.
think
You're
I
right.
was.
Yeah, so you were talking about the experience of fishing tournaments.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah,
telling
that's
you,
what
if
it
you
was.
haven't
Yeah, that's
enjoyed
what
a
I was
box of
thinking.
Vakanites
That's
doing
why I
73 mile an hour across Sam Rayburn,
That's
I mean,
why I asked you, because that was where I was going with this. So I started fishing when I started fishing a lot, like in my boat, when I was probably 16 or 17. So 24, 25 years ago, I have ruled out a lot of things and techniques not to do to win tournaments.
right?
So I'm bound to get to the ones that do pay at the end of the day.
There you go.
You know,
There you go.
If you
Yeah.
kept a couple snacks
Glass
in your
half
boat,
full.
you might figure out that's what it takes to win.
It could be the snacks.
I
What do y'all think? I mean, we think of beef jerky?
In
I
John's,
take snacks. I take jerky a lot. You can eat it.
I like
going,
it.
You know, you can grab your piece, eat it while you're going down the lake. You don't necessarily have to be still and sit there and eat it. Chew it while you run down the lake.
Dave's no jerky. No
Nah,
jerky.
No
I'm not-
jerky?
I mean, beef jerky's
know,
okay.
packet
Deer
crackers or
jerky,
something?
duck jerky,
Cold
any of
drink?
that's
Well,
okay.
I always
With-
have
with
water.
Dave, you will not ever go fishing where he doesn't have a box of Mike and Ike's. in the
There it
boat.
is.
Yeah.
Mike
There
and
it
Ike's.
is. I'm a Mike and Ike
That's my wife's.
connoisseur.
like
That's my
that.
wife's favorite can.
Love
She
'em.
actually got a case of them for her birthday last week.
I
I don't
try
know.
to
I don't
catch
know.
a fish with one of those this summer.
No, that was
Mike and
runts.
Ike?
That was runts.
I
That was
tried that.
runts. I'm sorry.
Runts?
Yeah, that's wrong. Never mind. Never
Runts
mind.
are okay.
I was wrong.
Uh,
Mike and
I'm
Ike's is
more
what
of
I
a-
bought her that I thought was.
I'm more of like a honey bun and Mike and
Yeah.
Ike's kind of guy.
Yeah. And what diabetic doesn't love?
I know.
I'm right there with
There are
you.
3 or 4 of us here
Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
shots on a weekly basis.
Ain't got a problem.
Yeah.
Honey bun, extra icing, please.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Nah, I'm not about the extra icing. I don't like the iced honey buns.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I
Oh,
do
no,
carry
I
some
need
peanut
a
butter
little icing.
crackers. You know,
Yeah.
but just in case I get real hungry, that'll usually knock it out. But I'm not a big. I'm not a grocery sack full of snacks like Big Dave over here, Cutter.
I usually eat Big Dave's, Mike and Ike's, and some peanut butter crackers.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, dang, I'm 2-1
Yep.
out of the most likely.
You're
Hey.
doing good, buddy.
Yeah.
Doing good this
Doing
week.
I'll
good.
take it. I'll take
Doing
it.
good.
I'm geared towards you on this one.
Really,
Yeah,
I think you get 2 out of 3. You get to add $1 to the cuss jar just for contributions to the community.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So
Oh, he's got his glasses on.
I got my glasses on because I can't see nothing, so that's fine. Last episode, we waded off in the muddy waters of the Super Bowl. You pick 'em. And
nobody did.
most of us, yeah, we didn't do too good. So let's see where we're currently at, and if there's anyone left in the game.
Well, I'm not left in the game.
No, you're not.
Um,
Well, I
I
wrote them
did-
down. I wrote them down from last episode. So
Yep.
John took the Bengals and the 49ers
yep.
with the Bengals to win it all.
Yep.
Big Ben, you took Bills and Cowboys, bless your heart, with the Cowboys to win it all.
He didn't get one pick right.
Cutter, you took the Chiefs and the Cowboys
Yes, sir.
We
with the
picked with our
Chiefs to win
hearts.
it all. So
Yes, sir.
you're still in it.
I'm still in it.
And I took the Chiefs and the 49ers. And God, why did I say the 49ers win it all? That was just ambitious at best.
Well, that was way ambitious.
So
I made it out of the divisional round.
you did? Yep.
And I after the divisional rounds, I was thinking, I'm doing pretty good. And boy, when we got to the conference championship games, that all changed.
Yeah.
Now the Chiefs Bengals game was a good game.
That was
And
a great game.
that could have went either way. I'm not gonna sit here and say that there was some questionable officiating in that game towards the end of it.
Here we go.
But there was
always
some
about
questionable
with him,
officiating in that
always.
game. But
I
I won't get. I got a bunch of haters at the table, so I'm not gonna get into
no
it.
haters.
No,
But
no.
yeah. I mean, nobody picked the Bengals but me. But yeah. So, anyways, they lost. It was a close game. It was a good game. I could have easily got that one right,
But you didn't.
but I didn't. I didn't. And the only one at this table left still in, as far as the Super Bowl pick goes,
As far as the winner goes.
the winner goes, is Cutter.
Yeah.
And please, please let the Eagles win because we'll never hear the end of it.
Oh no, please don't let the Eagles win.
Well, I know you're an Eagles hater because you're a Cowboys fan, but
No, I'm an Eagles hater because the Eagles fans are trash. I mean, they throw eggs and snowballs at people, and they're just not good. They're not good fans.
Oh, apparently, it's a Philly thing.
No, it is. It's not just
Yeah.
football. It's. Don't they have a baseball team? The
Phillies.
Yep,
Yeah.
that makes sense. No, I'm just joking. No, the Phil. I mean, no, it's a fan thing. It's not necessarily the Eagles. It's just
Yeah,
a
the
fan
Phillies
thing. I
were
don't like it,
recently in
man.
a World Series.
Yeah, and somebody beat them. Who was that?
Oh, it's right here, baby.
Who was that?
Yeah.
I think Mattress Mac knows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He caught a payday on that one.
Boy, did he gave a little bit of it back though.
Yes. I wouldn't do that again.
So yeah, Ben, you took the Bills and the Cowboys, and that was just unfortunate for both parties involved.
Including the Cowboys.
Yep.
Yep.
he also said that the Giants would beat the Eagles.
But that wasn't a pick.
That wasn't.
No, it wasn't. But I mean, it was part of your.
I said
we didn't ask you to pick that game, but you did.
We can go back to the previous recording, and I said that the Giants could beat the Eagles, and that nobody was invisible during the playoffs. Everybody.
Yeah, we did say that.
And that's all I was saying because nobody knew about the health of Jalen Hurts.
Right.
Right. No, none of us knew that whenever we were picking.
It became pretty evident.
Yep. So the only one that might still pull it off is
Cutter.
Uncle Cutter over here.
Yep.
And,
How you feel about it?
Well, I should have knew better than to pick the Cowboys because they just can't win the big game. But I'm a Cowboys fan, so that's what you do.
Naturally,
you
yeah.
pick your team, and I wasn't gonna pick the Eagles regardless. I couldn't do that. So
Yeah,
I
I mean,
went with my heart on that deal, which cost me that. But like I say, the Chiefs, I feel pretty strong about the Chiefs against the Eagles. I think Mahomes' ankle is not as bad as Hurts' shoulder. I think Jalen Hurts' shoulder is hurt pretty good.
Uh-huh.
I think
it
it's
is
hurt.
too.
I think it's hurt worse than Mahomes' ankle.
But you just didn't see him favoring it as much as you saw.
Yeah, but I
Mahomes
saw
favoring
him
his
take
ankle towards
some
the
hits,
end.
and he got up
Well,
grimacing
He
pretty
did, but he
good.
wasn't favoring it like
Yeah.
Mahomes was limping around at the end of the game of the conference championship game.
and
You
that
didn't see
was
him limping around?
Yeah, during the game. Did you see him limping around in the locker room or during press
Well, I
conferences?
mean, Jalen Hurts.
Didn't. He sold it.
Jalen
He's a phony.
Hurts,
really?
a one-arm quarterback could have won that game. He played against a four-string dude that never gets to play.
Oh, yeah.
He ended up playing against a one-arm quarterback.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the fourth stringer they brought in was.
It was,
Well, they brought Purdy back.
Oh, I know, but it was too far gone by
he's
then. I
got
don't know why they brought
he's
him
got
back
a
in.
tore elbow.
Yeah.
He's going to need Tommy John surgery. So that game was over from the start.
Yeah, it
so
wasn't
I don't.
close.
I still feel pretty good about the Chiefs' chances.
I do too.
So we'll see.
I do too.
All right.
Did Hurts throw the ball a whole lot in the championship game?
No, not a lot.
No,
I
he
mean,
didn't.
I mean, I guess he probably didn't have to. Really
No,
did.
he
He?
didn't
No.
have to. He didn't make no big throws. He just do some check down stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing downfield really.
he threw enough.
Yeah, but they won, and congrats to them and their
No, not
supporters.
congrats to
But
them. No, I'm not.
yeah, I mean, but they whatever. But
Care about their supporters.
but go Chiefs.
I think it's safe to say go Chiefs for all four of us at this point, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
local boy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
local quarterback
yeah.
from about 10 miles down the road. Yeah, got to root for him.
Yeah.
I think he was selling his hurt ankle a little bit, but I'm rooting for him.
Yeah. Hey.
It is what it is.
Little psychology.
Mhm.
He
Get him
wasn't
again.
hurt at all, limping around like that. He's got a future in acting too.
Well.
He was selling it. I mean, he was.
Oh
selling
yeah,
it.
yeah, he was. He was.
All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning into another episode of the Tight Lines and Brow Tines podcast. We really appreciate y'all's feedback and the support that we've received so far.
Yeah, and please don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and check us out on Facebook.
And if there's a question y'all have for us or something y'all just want to hear us talk about, drop us a comment. Or if you don't want to comment, email us at tightlinesandbrowtines.tx@gmail.com. That's tightlinesandbrowtines.tx@gmail.com.
And until next time, folks, stay safe and stay outside.
Yes, sir.
All right.